What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. It's official, guys. Plarium has been sold. Plarium has been sold. I made a video about this 6 months ago, basically saying that I found something in the earnings report from, Aristocrat, which is the parent company of Plarium, that they were exploring options to sell Plarium, specifically Plarium because Aristocrat actually is a gambling company. They specialize in like the physical machines for like slot machines, gaming machines, and the mobile sector or part of their portfolio is actually quite small. But Raid Shadow Legends is a very successful part of that. They did mention that they were planning to look into selling Plarium and mainly just get out of the mobile gaming stuff. They wanted to focus more on their gaming machines and their slot machines and casino games. So here we have the official announcement, literally like 1 hour or 2 hours, late. It literally just happened today, but Plarium is officially sold. And the news here is the official press release. MTG acquires Plarium, developer of global #1 mobile RPG Raid Shadow Legends, and strengthens its mobile gaming position. Now, this is not made up. This is not, fake news or anything like that. So usually when this happens, this is basically a done deal. I was reading over this press release and there's a lot of details in here. The main fun details can be broken down into, basically how much they sold it for example, and how much they bought it for, how much they actually made from the sale of Plarium. So this is the press release of Aristocrat, which is the parent company of Plarium, buying Plarium in 2017. They paid $500 million for the company back in 2017. And we're going to jump into this article here real quick where it breaks it down, the key figures here. They ended up selling Plarium. Aristocrat sells Plarium for $820 million. There's a bunch of further cash breakdowns. Basically, there's some incentive breakdowns on reaching certain thresholds, and then they'll get some additional monetary value from that. But that is the upfront cost, right? It's worth about $820 million. So they made a pretty good sum of money by, investing in Plarium over the past, 7 or 8 years. And of course, they made tons of money from Raid Shadow Legends as well as the other titles that Plarium produced, like Vikings and Mech Arena and all those other games. So jumping back to the press release from MTG. So MTG is actually another mobile gaming group. And here are some comments from MTG basically saying the acquisition provides scale with multiple avenues to deliver synergies and adds highly creative studio with a history of commercial success with strong momentum in 2024 to MTG's portfolio. So obviously this fits in very well with MTG because they're already in the space, as opposed to Aristocrat, which was not really in the space of mobile games generating money. They were in the sector of casino games, casino machines. So they wanted to get out of that business, like I said. They're also saying that it would substantially improve MTG's already strong cash flow generation. So obviously with, Raid Shadow Legends, they're making tons of money. We can't really deny that the game is strong. The game is strong and it's definitely creating, still strong revenue flows. They're actually having their year-end report pretty soon, I believe this week. So I'll cover that once I get my hands on it. But it would be no surprise to me that Raid is still doing well, even though in-game sentiment is just terrible. People, are still, paying them money to play the game. So Raid is definitely doing well. And it was definitely, it was telegraphed, right? 6 months ago, they said it, the CEO said it, and it really sounded like they were pumping it up to be sold. The closing for this isn't until Q1 2025. So it's, Plarium's still going to be owned by Aristocrat for, at least a couple more months. So we'll likely get the full year-end report, earnings and all that stuff coming in the next couple days, most likely. So I'll cover that once it comes out. So they're saying MTG is saying Plarium synergizes strongly with MTG, and the deal results in one of the strongest mid-core mobile gaming portfolios in the industry to power future organic growth. Plarium generated $613 million in revenues and $137 million in adjusted earnings, and $110 million in free cash flow for the period ending September 30th of this year. MTG will benefit from Plarium's deep tech and deep expertise in live ops, Not sure what that means. Marketing and monetization to drive commercial synergies and further improve the group's performance over the long term. I mean, again, we cannot doubt that, Plarium and Raid have done an extraordinary job in terms of marketing the game, making the game incredibly successful. So MTG, acquiring them, gaining all their knowledge, their skill set, their people, it's going to definitely, translate into value across all their other titles. So here's some more words about MTG's deal rationale. They're saying that Plarium will enable MTG to significantly increase its scale, accelerate its strategic execution, creating best-in-class platform to power future growth. The deal establishes the combined group as one of the world's leading operators of highly profitable, cash-generative mid-core games with strong and well-known titles, and strengthens MTG's already highly successful casual games portfolio through the addition of Merge Gardens. This elevates and diversifies MTG's already deep and extensive portfolio with a unique set of global evergreen IPs. The acquisition is closely aligned with MTG's growth strategy and selective approach to M&A. I believe M&A is marketing and acquisition, I believe. Plarium would enable the group to accelerate its organic evolution through even stronger live ops capabilities and expands the group's new game pipeline. Plarium's proprietary tools and technology platform will further enhance MTG's commercial capabilities and operating mobile. So, sounds like a lot of good for this new company, MTG, right? Picking up Plarium here. So, some further comments here about the synergies about Plarium. Basically, they're saying that they have a bunch of synergies together. They're expecting Plarium to accelerate their growth of their existing titles. MTG expects to be able to benefit from Plarium's experience, which will strengthen its already well-developed marketing capabilities and enable it to accelerate organic growth through Plarium's strong live ops. Again, I'm not too sure what they mean by live ops. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. I'm not too sure what that means. And then more things about technology and expertise. So they're basically really relying on Plarium and having the expert and the experience to really help give them more advantages across all of their titles. And MTG will talk about this in the first half of 2025 to go over its strategy and future ambitions, and then provide long-term financial goals as well. So some comments here about this from the CEO saying that he's excited to bring on Raid Shadow Legends and the portfolio that Plarium brings. They're excited for a couple new games from Plarium. They said they could have a couple games in the pipeline, which is cool. Also have best-in-class tools for user acquisition. So that's a big thing, right? Like obviously, like I said, very successful, and monetization very successful. But how much of that was Aristocrat, right? How much of that was the casino tool behind Plarium? We don't know, right? But yeah, that's interesting to know. That's interesting what people see of value from Plarium. So user acquisition and monetization tools. Plarium is led by a strong, experienced, dedicated team that fits very well with their entrepreneurial and driven culture, and I look forward to welcoming them to the group. So quickly, I want to comment on the MTG group that basically purchased Plarium. So Modern Times Group, they're a digital entertainment company based in Sweden. It's a media holdings company. They've been around for a while. It says 37 years here. So they're no stranger to all this, but they're not just strictly a gaming company. They're a media company. So they have all sorts of stuff, different companies in their portfolio. I'm just looking for some of their gaming titles, and I noticed that they actually acquired in 2020. I'm looking for more recent stuff, but they picked up Ninja Kiwi. So that's one of their big titles here. They also acquired 100% shares of Play Simple. They sold ESL, so they got some esports exposure as well. They are a publicly traded company as well, so they're pretty big. Cut so that they can generate, have better numbers in the end. So by removing some of the fat, removing maybe advertising, that's an easy one to go. Maybe because they don't have that much experience with advertising, maybe don't see, the need to spend this much amount of money on advertising. Maybe they start cutting, right? So you never know exactly what's going to happen with this brand new group of leadership that's dealing with Plarium now. So instead of Aristocrat, basically being the gambling casino company that's driving Plarium, maybe driving their top end decision making, now you have this kind of less aggressive, maybe slightly less aggressive, like media group, an investment company handling Plarium's top end decisions. So we're not going to know how much autonomy Plarium will have over some of the decision making in the game. Ultimately, I think at this stage, Maybe Aristocrat has outlived its welcome, and people are just sick and tired of it. Maybe a change is needed, and I think we can maybe hope to see some good changes for the player base. Because frankly, the last couple of weeks, it cannot get any worse. It cannot get any worse, especially if these decision making for in-game changes were done from the top down. I can't imagine it getting too much worse, to be honest. So a change is probably welcome from the player base. It'll be interesting to see how they continue to do what Plarium was doing for so many years, which was basically keep the player base, keep it coming up, keep new players coming in, keep them engaged, keep the monetization going and everything. It'll be interesting to see. And what differs from MTG versus Aristocrat, and whether there was any, top end, obviously top end expectations, and how they handle things like that, and how much pressure Plarium's under to perform in, certain ways, right? So we don't really know. We know that Plarium did have, a CEO change a couple of years ago, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. After a CEO change, we noticed like heavy pushes towards, monetization, right? And it's no secret. It's no secret. And obviously with the lifespan of the game being the way it is, they reached a point where it's like mid lifespan, and this is kind of like where you maximize the money draw from your player base. But yeah, like I said, like Ray's done an exceptional job just keeping fresh players, keeping the downloads going, keeping things relevant, keeping their player base, and still managing to monetize at a top end level, right? So of course another company will see some value from them. They see a lot of value in how they're going to integrate some of their key strong points, obviously marketing, obviously monetization. And they see a lot of value in the titles that Plarium has, not just Raid Shadow Legends, but of course Raid Shadow Legends is going to be the big one here. Anyways, guys, quick news drop here. I'm just trying to digest it myself. I literally got a hold of this maybe like an hour ago, and it's kind of hard to digest fully, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys are fully aware of that. It's maybe a big surprise to everyone. It wasn't a surprise to me. Like I said, I covered this 6 months ago. But yeah, here it is. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about all this in light of all this Hydra stuff. It's very interesting timing, of course, and exciting, stressful, scary. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Appreciate your time. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video.